Hello, everyone, and live from Tempe, Arizona at Oceanside Ice Arena. It's Arizona State Hockey YouTube's broadcast of the 2019 Maroon and Gold game. Hello, everyone. I'm Brett Vaughn as we welcome you inside the booth for the 2019-2020 season. And now the Maroon and Gold team game is the best 40 players out of the 3 tryouts they had this week, competing for a spot on the Division I men's ice hockey team. A big turnout, as there's been a record-setting number of 100-plus players coming out for Arizona State for this season. On showcase today are the best 40 of them, competing for only 30 spots for the Division I team. Many of the players who do not make it as well might be playing, and you'll see them in uniform for the Division II team. Well, folks, get ready and get buckled up, as it's going to be the first preseason action of the Arizona State ice. I'm Brett Vaughn, alongside my partner Niall Cooper, and we'll have puck drop just in a little bit. And folks, thank you again for joining us today. I'm Brett Vaughn alongside Niall Cooper, and we'll get the festivities going. The Maroon and Gold teams battling against each other. 30 spots up for grabs for the Division I team. Draws one by Andrew Husted. As the white team comes in on the attack early, Husted couldn't get the controlled pass from his line mate. Huston comes out with it. Trying to find it, stick handling. Loses it though. It'll now be Adam Havner trying to get the zone entry, and he'll cough that one up. Elliot Plurd trying to get a shot on. He fans on it. Puck squirts out to the neutral zone. And we'll have a stoppage in play with 19:21 left in this first period. And now we're talking earlier to an upbeat head coach for the Division I team and the ASU hockey director, Tate Green, earlier today.
We were, and he was extremely excited about this coming year, if for nothing else than what you mentioned in the pregame, the turnout we had this season in the tryouts. 128 kids came out to try out. That number is absolutely insane, through the roof from last year. And just the amount of talent that the coaching staff is going to have to sift through as they're preparing the rosters for this upcoming season for the D1 team, for the D2 team. You know they're excited about the potential to come out and really showcase a lot of talent that maybe they didn't have the chance to last season.
Kowalchuk with the puck in his own zone. He'll play it up to the neutral zone, right in front of the white team's bench. Klein couldn't get that puck in all the way deep. The white team now will go D to D, control the puck, and it'll get chipped in by Braden Shaw. Ryan Lanford, tight turn in his own zone. Headmans the puck up. Stuck in the referee's crease as the black team goes for a change. You have to be careful to avoid a too many men call. Klein needs to check. He'll get some help from Drew Platt, and he'll dump it all the way down. The goaltender, Everett Jasinski, keeps that one behind his net. On the back check that time was Drew Platt hustling and was able to keep the puck in, but only for a brief moment, and it was offside.
And there's a lot of guys, Brett, that you're going to be watching today. I want to say right out of the gate, the first thing I noticed was on the away, the Dart team, the Studioso, the younger Studioso, Brendan Studioso, getting physical early. That's something that surely is going to stand out in the minds and the eyes of the coaching staff.
Puck will be taken in by Jake Geely. Geely overhandled the puck now, but it comes back in. Michael Wiggins with the wrist shot on as Bronson Moore was able to make the save, and a man coming off an impressive campaign last year between the pipes for the Division I team. Draw one by the black team. trying to find the puck and trying to flip that puck up in the air. Was the defenseman Dylan Adams, but it was a little too high, and that fabled low ceiling here at Oceanside Ice Arena gets the best of him.
Yeah, it's been a long time, Brett. I almost forgot how low the ceiling is in here.
Draw's going to be to the left of the goaltender Moore. Picked up by Jack Hosworth. Hosworth tries to center that one floating through. Icing waved off. Platt in for it, trying to center that puck, but it gets taken away. Kept in by one of his line mates, Jacob Lester, and they'll go for a change. 17:25 left in this first period. White trying to negotiate the forecheck out of their own zone. Oh, and a big hit laid down by Austin Palumbo, one of the veterans. And it'll keep the puck down in the offensive zone. Kenny Miller cycles up puck, gets taken away, centered in front, up at the point. Cam Ward with the wrist shot on. And the goaltender Yazinski fights through the traffic and makes a save. Cycling back down. The Dark team having a good amount of pressure right now. Billingsley trying to give that over to Havner, and he'll go for the change. Havner with the short angle shot, misses wide, and will come out into the neutral zone. Nice transition to the neutral zone, trying to cut his way through the middle was Elliot Plurd, but he gets taken away. Plurd gets another shot on again, and that gets blocked. Klein. Up now to the right. Jet Larson. Larson trying to find Klein. That's in his skates. Puck bobbled up in the air. Controlled by the Dark team. And now relieving the pressure for the White team is Andrew Husted. Husted trying to get that shot, release it through the middle, and gets blocked. Up to the point, Connor Kruk. Kruk trying to get that shot on. That'll be blocked. Up at the point. That pass almost came to Husted as he was looking for the slapper, and then there was a big clap bomb from the defenseman, that time Studioso. It's a 2-on-2 opportunity for Klein. Klein trying to get his way past Studioso. He can't. Studioso shows him to the boards. Up at the point. It'll work its way down. Clayton Lackey trying to center that in front. And the rebound, and Jazinski's able to kick that one away with the pad. It's the Black team again. Trying to come through, toe dragging was Clayton Lackey, but he gets poked off his stick by Kowalchuk. Hard chip off the boards, comes out to the neutral zone. Black team comes in once again, Alex Demon. Demon with the shot on and gets ramped up and out of play.
And Brett, after all that action, we finally get a whistle and a stoppage for you. I want to key in on someone that I thought had a really good first shift for the Dark team. That was number 7, Chase McLaughlin, the defenseman. I don't know if you noticed because you were calling some pretty fast action going both ways, but he had his stick in great spots. He knew when to step up and intercept the man. He cut off a couple key opportunities where the White team could have made a cut into the center of the ice, into the dangerous area, and he used his good defensive stick and positioning to deny it.
Larson trying to play that one up. That's a errant pass, but icing's waved off by the linesman. Hustling back is Jacob Yoho. Yoho trying to move it over to the weak side, but that'll get plugged up. The centerman, Brandon Studioso, is now finally able to get that puck out. Icing again waved off. Wheeling around his net is Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk with speed. Weak side pass out of the reach of his winger, Braden Shaw, but that'll allow him to go for a change. Picking it up now is Studioso. Studioso kicks it back to Havner. Havner trying to find the shot and ends up finally going to Yazinski as Clayton Lackey had it stuck up in his skates trying to get a good release off the shot. But it was a nice, well-worked passing play out of their own zone.
Yeah, it was. That was Lackey, Studioso, Havener, the three, showing a little bit of chemistry early in the game. Havener, obviously a familiar name for anyone last year. He was lighting it up early in the season before he got hurt. But a good display of skill by Lackey, breaking it out of the zone, finding the man that was open, and going to the dangerous area.
Dark team again threatening. Backhand shot on. And the defenseman had to whack it away, Zachary T. Could be a 2-on-1. Wiggins trying to pass that puck through. He finally centers it in, but it hits one of the skates of the defender. It finally comes out through, and the weak backhand shot from the slot. Michael Landrot ended up going in the corner. Kenny Miller trying to fork that out. Some teams trying to gain it, and ended up taking the check, dumping it down deep was Jack Hosworth.
On that last opportunity, Wiggins, the returner, going down. He had the puck in a bad spot. He gave it to the side of the defenseman. An easy stick made and a defensive play for the black team by Jack Hosworth.
Dangerous turnover. It's a 2-on-1 opportunity for the dark team. He scores! Jager Larson ends up making the white team pay after that turnover on the blue line. And on the 2-on-1 opportunity, he cashes in. It's 1-0 dark team.
And Brett, as I'm sure you remember, Jager Larson last season, a bit of an up and down year for him. Didn't finish on the best note. And you know he wants to come out and really show the coaching staff what he has and come out on the right foot. Give himself a chance to make the team again. A good goal.
And we'll have our first goal of the game as a hand pass, and it'll be whistled down.
And so far, Brett, I have to say the dark team, I think, has really dominated the play. And, you know, that might be picking the low-hanging fruit given that they're up 1-0 right now. But nonetheless, the pace of play, the ice has totally been tilted down at the end of the white team. It's been all black. They've done a great job, in my opinion, executing breakouts, which I think is something we saw ASU really struggle with from the majority of last season, was just getting that initial pass out of their zone, and from there they would have problems with the other team establishing a forecheck.
Intercepting the pass is Connor Kruk, and he'll throw it back in the zone. John Studioso at the point. Passes in the corner. Puck centered in front. Up again, the white team's trying to now apply the pressure. But it'll come out to the neutral zone, and they have to regroup. 12:15 left in this first period, and it's a 1-0 lead for the dark team. Little miscommunication now, allow the dark team to go in the zone. Up to the point, the shot on and gets blocked, but it trickles slowly to Yazinski, and he had to be there. Folks, thank you for tuning in for our first broadcast of the 2019-20 season. Draw won by the white team. Michael Slavic. Slavic's able to get that out on his own accord. Slavic coming in again as he lays the body down, trying to pinch that puck in. Players fishing for it. It'll be Damon Porter. Damon Porter with the wrist shot on that hits the outside of the net. Gavin Klein trying to chip it to himself. And he ends up putting himself offside.
Another defenseman that's had a good start in the maroon and gold game, Brett, for the dark team has been number 5, Cam Ward. And while we'll have to see where the chips fall going into the season, he's a guy that you were familiar with from your previous years playing hockey. Is that true?
Yes, he came from the same youth program in San Jose, California with the Junior Sharks, as well as his brother Aiden, who's played for the D2 team as well. White team trying to find it. Be an athletic move by Andrew Husted out of his own zone. Husted still with the puck. Puts on the brakes. Over to Porter. Porter up to the point. Kowalchuk plays it back down. Trying to center that in front. Porter trying to get it to his forehand. He does. Puck still loose in front, and he scores! Damon Porter leaving it all out there on the ice today, and he ends up tying the game up at 1.
You love to see the effort, Brett, from Porter. He had it on his backhand, makes a power move to the front of the net with a defenseman draped all over him. He says, not a problem. I hit up the gym yesterday. I can do this. He gets in there, generates an opportunity, sticks with it, finds the rebound, and shovels it home into the top half of the net while the goalie's laying there trying to make a desperation save. And that's the kind of effort that might put you over the top and allow you to make that Division I team at the end of this game.
Both players trying to figure out where the puck is. Jacob Lester turning around his own zone. Ended up being taken out. Geely trying to get that puck through, and it ends up rolling to Yudzinski, and he'll cover it up with his mitt. Even game so far has transpired in this first period. Draw is going to be to the right of the goaltender, Yudzinski. Draw win. Trying to release the shot, Chase McLaughlin, but he fans on it. Now he finally gets it to the net. Both players jamming at it, and the puck came out loose, but the referee with a quick whistle.
That's the second time already we've seen the right-handed shot. McLaughlin walk the line at the point and get in a position to get a shot on goal. As a defenseman, it's not always about how hard you can get the shot through, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't get to the net, you're not generating a scoring opportunity. And I like the way he's shown his mobility on the blue line to try to open up those chances and just get the puck to the net where dangerous things can happen.
Palumbo kicks it up to the point. McLaughlin down low. Puck gets centered and ramped out of the zone. Bronson Moore out of his net to control the puck. Backhand pass to his defenseman, McLaughlin. McLaughlin up to the half wall. Black team takes it in now. Ends up being turned over. There's a nice defensive play by Connor Kruk to really stand up his man and force that puck to get out of his own defensive zone.
That was key. If you have a good stick in the neutral zone and at your own blue line and you can stop that play coming into your own end as a defenseman before it even materializes, that's exactly what you want to see, because not only does that prevent the opportunity for the other team to come down and score, but it also allows your team the chance to get a quick break going the other way and maybe even an odd man rush.
Draw one by the white team. Trying to come out with speed. Wiggins gains their red line and negates the icing. Moore comes out of his net. He's got to be careful. Puck dropped up in front. Oh, and trying to size up the shot was a defenseman, Michael Andraw, and it hobbles over his stick blade and out of the zone. Fighting for it. Palumbo on the backhand gets his pass intercepted by Ryan Lanfer. Dark team has some numbers that they can get the puck, unable to. Kowalczyk in his own zone, circles around. Now it could be a quick 2-on-1 opportunity. Wiggins with the puck, trying to backhand that one up in the air. It trickles around, and Moore is able to find that puck. Quick transition play, as it didn't take too much time for Kowalczyk to get in his own zone and find his winger on the far side boards.
No, you can see the veteran experience every time he gets out and touches the ice. The captain from last season really showing the guys how to get it going so far in this Maroon and Gold game.
Lofink trying to apply the pressure. Billingsley there in the corner. He'll get stapled to the boards. Great forecheck by Donovan Myers, as that shot from the point ends up getting blocked and into the corner. Dylan Adams, another chip, and again a little too high, and it goes off the netting and out of play.
And Dylan Adams is somebody who's played in this barn before more than a few times, Brett. You want to see him dump that one off the glass. You know the home ice advantage. Other teams are going to come in here and have trouble keeping that puck out of their own zone with poor dumps, because you're used to dumping it high, getting it out of the zone. That can't happen at Oceanside. You have to play it off the glass every time if you want to get it out of your zone.
Draw one by the black team, but the white team's applying some real forecheck pressure. The rugby scrums down in the zone. Moore trying to play the puck, but ends up losing the handle of his actual stick, and it has to let him go by. Pinch by Kowalczyk. It stays in, and the pass from Lofinks out of the reach for Billingsley. White team again, the wrist shot on from Andrew Husted, and it was saved by the knob of the stick of Moore.
And Brett, that opportunity for the white team coming as a result of a poor clearing attempt by Cam Ward. A very lazy hospital pass up to his winger, Alex Demon. They put Demon in a tough spot on his backhand, trying to whack one behind his body. Obviously, he couldn't get it out of his zone, and that allowed the white team to come back on a quick break on a 3-on-2. You like to see a little bit better decision-making out of Cam Ward.
Puck still loose in the neutral zone. It'll be dumped in hard by Brandon Studioso. D-to-D pass, absorbing the check. That time was Teach, the defenseman. It'll now be Kenny Miller. Miller taking it in. Over to the goal scorer, Porter. Porter having a nice little cycle going, trying to confuse the defense for the dark team. Porter again trying to center that one. Husted trying to get the shot through and ends up getting blocked, finding a leg. They're at it again. Elliott Plird there as well. Plird in the corner. He's trying to get it out of his skates. Some help from the winger for the dark team. Brandon Studioso allows Havner to gain the center ice line and dump it in.
One of the best shifts I think we've seen in this first period from the white team. Plird and Porter really going to work down low. You love to see that cycle. That's not something we've seen too often in the past couple of years from ASU teams.
Puck sitting in front. The slap shot on, and Moore was able to snag that with the mitt. It was a defenseman, Daniel Chambers. Pardon me, it was a forward, Jet Larson, ended up seeing that puck right in front. And it was a dangerous opportunity.
But again, Brett, good to see Plird, Porter, and Husted coming in with a nice shift for the white team. You want to get a little bit of momentum going if you're the other lines, just to try to establish something and show the coaching staff what you have.
Freezing the puck there was Moore off the shot from the defenseman, John Studioso, from the point. 6:46 remaining in this first period, and it's 1-1. Draw win by the white team. Wrist shot on from Studioso, hits the body and goes in the corner. At the hash marks. Finally coming Jet Larson. Larson deciding not to take the shot and just dumps it in safely. Dark team trying to get it out. They finally do. Geely gets his pass intercepted by Studioso. Oh, and a nice hit at the blue line was Braden Shaw. Puts his man down and allows his team to go the other way. Daniel Chambers. Chambers loses the grip on the puck. Bouncing around still. It'll be chipped out to the neutral zone. The dark team now with it. Jack Hosworth. Hosworth trying to cut down to the corner. Ends up losing a tire down below. And Yazinski ends up finding the puck. It was a quick shot from Palumbo on the side.
A little bit of vinegar to the game of Braden Shaw, Brett. A big hit laid there. And that's something that you know is going to stick in the minds of the coaches after the game. Not to mention his teammates, too. That'll give you a little bit of boost of morale on the bench.
Draw one by the white team. Hard rim around. Not hard enough, but it was a nice read by Chase McLaughlin to get to that puck first. Puck up for grabs in the middle. It'll be kicked out to Cam Ward. Ward stops, hesitates, rebound in front off the shot of his. It'll be cleared away by the defenseman, Michael Slavic, and it'll now go the other way for the white team. Puck On the weak side pass and controlling it, Zachary Kowalchuk. Hard pass off the boards. Ends up hitting the goaltender Yazinski, and icing's automatically waved off. Shot trying to be broken out, and it'll be chipped up into the zone and out of play.
And that was Yager Larson, who you saw cherry picking at the offensive blue line, Brett, as he was looking for that breakout pass for number 17, Sal Carcenero. Good read by the white team to deny the opportunity.
Draws outside in the neutral zone. White team trying to pull through. That's Michael Endry. Aiden Sullivan there as well. Sullivan ends up losing the puck. 3-on-2 could be developing for the dark team. Beautiful active stick positioning by Sal Carcerano. Pardon me, Zachary T. Dark team trying to get something going. They end up coughing the puck at the blue line, though. Wiggins trying to find the puck through it, but it gets poked away off his stick. Puck ends up hitting a stanchion out in the corner and falls beautifully for the white team. There to the rescue for the dark team was Sal Carcerano. Trying to find it. It'll be Porter. Porter centers it and through, and a one-timer shot from Elliot Plird ends up getting found by the goaltender Moore.
And Plird, he had the quick release, but one thing he's going to learn pretty quick is Bronson Moore is no slouch between the pipes. He was the workhorse last year for ASU, figures to certainly be in the mix for that role once again this year. And he doesn't appear to have lost even a step. Granted, we're in the preseason.
Andrew Husted trying to do some tight turns in the corner, trying to shake off his defender, but he can't. Dylan Adams finally gets that clear off the glass and out of his zone. Kenny Miller was going by Kenneth Miller last year.
I like the addition of a little personality, Brett. You love to see it.
Porter trying to fight his way through the check, and he'll end up getting a poke and put that puck deep in the offensive zone corner. Adams does a nice job of aiding both forecheckers. It now allows Clayton Lackey to come in. And the shot on as he found Brandon Studioso, and I just don't think he had enough speed there to really try to force the goaltender Yazinski off his line.
No, not enough speed, not quite wide enough of a deke either, but what really stands out on that is Lackey. He took that in his own zone, carried it all the way in the offensive zone, and you saw him, he held on this weak side on the left wing. He drew the defenseman to him just enough to open up that far wing for his teammate Studioso, and then made a perfect pass right on the tape. Great hockey IQ on display from Lackey.
Puck on the weak side corner, somehow blocked on his keister. Studioso was able to. Lackey on the half wall. He's trying to throw it up to the point, but McLaughlin wasn't there. Donovan Myers takes the puck in, tries to pass that one, but McLaughlin's able to recover and intercept the pass. Under 3 minutes now in this first period. Lackey button hooking, trying to protect the puck. He'll go to the far side, and the puck almost comes up into the press box and out of play.
That's all right. I was ready, Brad. I had my hand out. No one's ever called me Bronson Moore, but I think I could have made that save.
I bet you can.
On another positive note, I think something we might be seeing quite a bit of this year, Brett, could be that combination of McLaughlin to Lackey. The breakout passes from McLaughlin so far tonight, I'm counting at least 3 perfect breakout passes. And Lackey, he's got that great hair flowing out the back of his bucket, but he has even more hockey IQ underneath that bucket as well. And he looks like a danger every time he's on the ice.
Alex Demon on the left side on his forehand. Demon trying to look to the front. He'll go for the wraparound. Puck still loose in front. Yazinski's trying to gobble at it, and he finally is able to cover it up.
Anytime you can get the puck to the net in the offensive zone, Brett, it's never a bad thing. Last year, Alexander Demon, he had some opportunities given to him late in the season, a lot of them due to injuries to some of the top-end players, and we saw him on more than a few occasions pass up the opportunity to make a good shot on goal or make a move to the net, and you see that he's trying to identify that and get it going in his game a little bit more, because he certainly has the size and the skill when he takes it to the net to potentially score a goal on any chance.
Jet Larson on a one-on-one opportunity, trying to get a handle on that puck, but with the ice near the end of the first period, it's a little choppy. Puck now behind the net of Moore. Hard at work is Braden Shaw. Shaw centers that in front. Trying to find Chambers, but he ends up getting thrown down to the ice. Jet Larson near the end of his shift, trying to find some second wind, and he does with the puck. Trying to center that in front. Wiggins with a weak backhand shot on, goes wide, and Moore is able to tug the puck near the post and cover it up.
That was an interesting sequence, Brett. You heard as the rest of his teammates were going for a change, Jet Larson had the puck at the blue line, and everyone was yelling for him to dump it in and get a change. And he tried to stick it out, and credit to him, he got it behind the defense and got in and was able to delay the play just long enough to get some teammates and generate a scoring opportunity.
Black team trying to get it out of their own zone, but it takes a hop off the stanchion and out of play.
I've really enjoyed the pace of this first period so far, Brett. It's been really fast. Both teams clearly out to win the game. You want to see someone come out, get on the ice, and their goal is to win. You don't want to not lose. You want to go out and win, and right now both teams are really attacking this game.
Puck in front, trying to jam at it at the short side post. Ends up getting whistled down by the referee. It was Michael Andraw was able to react first off the face-off and was able to get to that puck and almost score.
Bronson Moore getting most of the shots on goal he's faced all game in the last few minutes. A good late push by the white team.
White team trying to finish off a change. Porter up to the point. Having some trouble with it. Now on a breakaway is Drew Platt. Platt on his backhand. Back to his backhand again, and he scores! Drew Platt, as we were under 60 seconds of the first period, he was able to capitalize off the bobbled handle by Zachary Teed at the point for the white team, and he was able to use his speed and strength to hold off his back check, and he ends up going upstairs on the goaltender Yazinski.
That was some great offensive awareness at the blue line by Drew Platt. He sees the defenseman struggling a little bit with the handle on the puck and decides to go out and challenge him. And then from there, it was simply a foot race, and he beat him all the way to the other end. A great backhand move to score.
Under 40 seconds left. Dark team with the puck, trying to add to their lead. Porter to Husted. Husted trying to get around the defenseman. Again, impressive by Chase McLaughlin. He's able to keep him out of the zone and offside.
I'm trying to do my due diligence right now, Brett, to scan the ice and really see who's doing a good job, but I just can't help but keep coming back to McLaughlin. Every shift, he seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Puck dangerously there up for grabs. Kruk is able to keep that puck out. About 12 seconds left. Kruk. Far side pass. They'll finally come to Porter. Porter, beautiful find over to Husted. Husted trying to get the shot off, but he ends up getting sandwiched by McLaughlin and Studioso, and that'll be the end of this first period.
And that was an exciting first period. 3 total goals, Brett. And I think if we want to pick a guy from each team that had a really good first 20 minutes, obviously it's been McLaughlin. He's been the best defenseman on the dark team. But the goal scorer, Porter, I think he's done more than just score for the white team. He showed a lot of effort, a lot of tenacity. And you see him, he's going to the dirty areas. He's not afraid to go in the corner, work the cycle, get involved with the winger in the center, and just generate opportunities in the offensive zone that way, as well as coming back on the back check. You love to see a guy that's going to play 200 feet of the ice, up and back, no matter the situation. And so far, he's really stood out for me on the white team.
And folks, stay tuned as we're going to have a special guest for the second period. It's going to be the ASU hockey director and head coach of the Division I team, Tate Green's going to be on the call with us for the second period as we're going to ask him some questions about the upcoming season, and you don't want to miss that. After 20 minutes of play and the 2019 Maroon and Gold game, it's the Maroon team 2 and the Gold team 1. This is Arizona State Hockey YouTube. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Arizona State Hockey YouTube's presentation of the 2019 Maroon and Gold game. And as we start the second period, we have a special guest with us. It's the Arizona State Club Hockey Director, as well as the Division I men's head coach, Tate Green. And Tate, thanks for joining us for today.
Brett, Niall, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate everything that you're doing here. All this fancy equipment, we almost look professional here right now. This is cool. What you guys think of the first period?
I think we both really like the pace, and a lot of standout guys for this upcoming season, I think.
Yeah, I think our individual skill level is definitely upgraded. We've got some guys that can get up and down the ice pretty quick. We got some guys that can handle the puck. Hopefully we get some guys that can score the goal, too. Or score the goals, right?
Yeah, a total of 128 players came out for the total tryout, so it was really impressive to see the numbers. Were you guys expecting for it to be that big?
No, not at all. I was, for me, a perfect world was going to be if we hit 90. I thought that was going to be a big upgrade from what we had last year. But the 128 number is mind-boggling to me. No way we were expecting it. Tell me how many teams have 128 practice jerseys to pass out per trial. It was really difficult, but very surprising.
Puck will be dumped in by the dark team. They're with the Adam Havner. He's trying to send it up to his defenseman, but they're going for a change. Now the white team with the puck. Michael Andrade. Andrade, as he ends up getting finished down below in the corners by the defenseman Ryan Lanfer. Puck trying to be corralled. It'll be Drew Platt. Platt, who scored the go-ahead goal late in that first period.
Big Drew Platt. Nice, going to be a nice addition for us. He was played in the EHL for the Junior Flyers. Was a captain for them. 21, 22-year-old kid is going to bring a little experience and some maturity to the group, no doubt.
And Coach, we know there are a few guys that really stood out to us. I like the game of McLaughlin in the first period. Do you think he's going to be a key guy? Should he make the D1 team on the back end?
Yeah, definitely. He skates well enough. I think physically he's got to get stronger, but he can skate at the D1 level. There was a play that stands out to me in that first period where he made a good escape move down low, got up the ice, made a good first pass. He's another one. He's played juniors. He had another year of juniors left that he could have taken, but he decided he wanted to go to school instead. And, he's got a real good chance to make it, and I think he's going to be one that'll grow into. You'll see as the season goes along, he'll probably become more and more, or get more and more ice time.
Right, and it's never a bad thing to have a right shot who can skate and bring that mobility on the back end. You
got to have a right shot D-man if you're going to succeed in hockey. That's statistically proven. So.
White team trying to find it. They'll end up being dumped in by Teed. Puck centered in front dangerously, but it was recovered by Tim Hoffenkamp. Hard chip off the boards, could be a 2-on-1. In the corner, Demon trying to get it. It'll pop out.
Look at them fighting each other. They don't realize it's over there.
I know, you can see a lot from up here, right?
Yeah. Elliot Plurd, nice little player, put up a bunch of points in the NA3. He's going to add, he's another one of those ones I talked to you guys about before. He's going to add offense to us right away.
And the slap shot hasn't been blocked by Dylan Adams. Puck comes to the other side, Studioso.
Yeah, back to Elliot Plurd. He had, what do you have, like 72 points in 44 games last year with the Helena Bighorn in the NA3. So proven offensive players. Like I said, we need that, right?
Puck down the corner. There's Plurd trying to walk out with it on his backhand. He'll get stapled up behind the net. Porter trying to center that in front. Up to the point, going D to D. Studioso has to control it. Throws it back down. It'll find Porter. Porter, button hooking, trying to get that one centered in front. Standing on the shot was Andrew Husted. And the puck will come out to the zone. Another guy, Porter, he's already scored a goal, but he's a guy who looks really physical, really built.
Yeah, big fan of Damon. He comes to us from Vancouver Island Junior League. Again, another guy, offensive guy, but you see the physical side of it. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. He's not afraid to grind it. Very strong. And another, 21-year-old kid who's got a maturity level to him. It'll definitely help us.
Do you see Porter being a guy that's going to be able to play on the top two lines?
Yep, no doubt. He brings a little bit of everything. Like I said, the toughness, the grit that we have to have, but he's got skill and he's got a very hard shot, and he puts up points. He's put up points everywhere he's been before he got to us. So.
Well, you love to see a track record of success. You also love to see a guy that's built like a fire hydrant.
Yep.
That'll be the save by the new goaltender, Zach Hale, coming into the game for the Dark team.
Zach was one of the D2 goalies last year. It appears he's put in a bunch of work this summer. He's had a real good camp so far. He's in that mix right now that we're looking at.
Now, in terms of when you're recruiting some of these players, what's their first exposure to the team? Is it, I know we've spoken before, is it maybe the implementation of the NCAA team getting more notoriety with hockey here at ASU, coming all the way down to the club level, or is it something more of them knowing other players who have played here before?
It's a little bit of all that, Brett. Guys that get here, there's guys that come here because of the NCAA experience, no doubt. They get here, though, and they find out, nice pass. Is that Havner there? Almost. Havner's had a great weekend, put up a bunch of points. And guys get here, and they see that it's a high level. They see that it's fun. They see that you're still competing against really good hockey players. The experience is awesome. And then, word of mouth. They tell their buddies or whatnot. We got 3 guys out here right now that all played at the North Iowa Bulls. Their head coach is a good friend of mine, and we were able to give the first one a great experience, and word traveled. Now anytime I go see that team, coach has got, hey, you know what, this guy's interested in ASU now too. So it's a little bit of everything that you brought up there.
For a guy like Adam Havner.
How many people were coming in for the tryouts? 128. And there's going to be plans next year, right, to develop a program even further than what we're already at. And ASU already, in my opinion, is one of the biggest hockey programs in the country, but it may be even bigger next year. Yeah,
without a doubt. Given the numbers that we had come in and also the skill level of the kids that we had come in, there's every opportunity for us. And my plan is we're creating a prospect team this year. We're going to have hopefully anywhere from 25 to 35 guys that we're going to put on the ice. We're going to get them games, and then I will turn that into a D3 team for next year. So at which point we'll have 3 ACHA teams, an NCAA team, and like you just said, Niall, at that point I think it's without question we're the biggest hockey college in the country.
Taking in a long shot away, ends up being saved by Hale. 4 players trying to stand out, and when you were player evaluating earlier this week, trying to see what player's going to make what team, what are your key ingredients you really look for?
They got to be complete players, They got to be able to play both ends of the ice as much as possible. I mean, obviously there's some guys that are going to be more skill-focused, or some guys that are more defensive-focused, but I'm trying to find complete hockey players that can play any role at any time and be able to play both ends of the ice, Some guys are going to be more physical than others. I understand that. But if they're smart players, you look for their positioning, who identifies where they should be or where open lanes are, and then it's the compete level for me too. That's the biggest thing for me with our guys. They'll hear me say it every day in the locker room is compete, compete, compete. I want guys that want to get after it all the time, you know?
Yeah, a guy like Adam Havner, who had a rough end to last season with that season-ending injury. How has he looked coming back so far for
you know
this
what?
season?
I just talked to him between periods, and I thanked him. And he's like, what are you talking about, Coach? Why are you thanking me? I'm like, you put in some work this summer. He's really worked hard to recover from that injury. Right before he got hurt last year, he was playing really well for us. He finally kind of gotten his confidence. He was starting to be productive. And then that injury happened, and it set him back. When he was able to be healthy, even in practice, we could tell he wasn't confident, so he wasn't effective. Whatever he's done over the summer, he has come back bigger, stronger, faster. Man, yesterday's game, I think he had 3 goals, so he's been a very pleasant surprise.
McLaughlin in his own zone, a little errant pass. Platt trying to fork that one out of the zone, he can't. I'll be found in front, but it'll go all the way down into the white zone, and they'll have to regroup. Shot from the point, and that almost finds its way to the net of the goaltender, Yazinski.
Everett transferred in here from Iowa State. He was a backup for their D1 team last year. Really nice kid, great attitude. He's another one that's in the mix right now for a spot.
Puck looks like it's going to go all the way down and for an icing call.
And Coach, you guys obviously put in a lot of time recruiting guys. We came in a couple times early in the summer, and you guys already had, your big board out. You're working on all the guys and everything. You had so many kids come out to tryouts this year. I've already mentioned a few times. Does that, at the end of the day, make your job any easier, having all the kids and having so many choices? Or does that infringe at all on the recruitment work you've already done?
It's twofold there, Niall, because, having numbers, obviously you see the level of play has gone up by having more kids here, and that compete level that I just talked about goes up as well.
Right.
The downside is I'm not here to end kids' hockey careers. I want everybody to keep playing. I want everybody to have an opportunity to play, and it's really difficult having to tell a 19, 20-year-old kid who's played hockey his whole life that I don't have a spot for him. And there's a lot of kids, local kids here, where part of the reason I have to build, I feel I have to start this D3 team is to help out these kids that still want to play. They're still good kids. They're still good hockey players. And if I have the ability to create a spot for them, I'm going to do everything I can. So it sucks. I hate cutting kids. But it's nice. When you have to cut kids, that means your talent pool has gone up, right?
So during the season, what's the normal structure for the student athletes here, with whether they're with D1 or D2 on their normal schedule during the course of the season?
So our D1 guys will they're on the ice 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we use Mondays as an off-ice day. So we'll do off-ice workouts early in the season, then we turn it into video sessions later in the season. And then we've got a schedule right now of 35 games, I believe. And the D2 team will skate twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. Oh, coming in hot. And they'll have a schedule right now. They are at 30 games, I believe, 28 to 30. The D2 team will have a Pac 8 tournament that they go to. They'll have a regional tournament that they'll go to, and then the opportunity for nationals. D1, obviously, we're trying to win a conference title. We're trying to beat U of A. We want that trophy probably first and foremost. But then, this year we expect to go back to the national tournament. So it's a long grind. Nationals aren't until March. So it's August and we're already working. It's for all these kids, D1 or D2, it's a difficult, long grind. It's hard, no question. And you see which kids, real quick we'll find out which ones know how to balance a schedule, right?
Yeah, definitely part of that transition. And for such a young team last year, I think those are some of the growing pains, not only on the ice, but off the ice as well.
Without a doubt, Brett. We started off the season with obviously a very young team, but then to go 17 out of 19 games, or 7 out of 9 weekends, on the road to start the season. Our guys were trashed early on, and it made it very difficult. Fortunately, we were able to balance the schedule out this year. We're not going to have any long stretches like that where we're on the road. We've eliminated the trip to North Dakota, which was really difficult on guys. You know, first of all, it was a very expensive trip, and second of all, it's just you're stuck in North Dakota traveling across the state for 4 days. It just didn't benefit our kids as students. You know, so we eliminated that one. We'll go up to Utah for just a quick trip, 1-day trip. And then we added GCU too, which, again, saves me a bunch of money by not having to get on the road.
And it's having the home games this year, because last year was pretty much the opposite. You had a lot of the home games later in the year. Do you think that's going to help the kids at all to have a more front-loaded schedule, less travel early in the year?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to give them time to get acclimated to the school, because this D1 team's going to have a bunch of new guys. That's the reality of it, and so they've got to get acclimated. They've got to get adjusted. Being able to keep them at home on some weekends or keep them close by where they can kind of get settled in and figure out a schedule will help. As a team, will help us a lot. Come on, Jacob, put it. Well.
Puck will come out to the neutral zone. Now be dumped back in by Jack Hosworth.
Big Jack Hosworth, USPHL Premier League last year. Put up decent, really good numbers for a defenseman. 31 points, 43 games. He had a cup of coffee in the North American League. It's a big difference you'll see this year with our guys. We've got guys that have played at a higher level of juniors than normal. I think we've got probably 4 or 5 guys that have had some time in the North American League, you know? And that's a league that's putting out guys that are on scholarship here with our NCAA team, right?
Yeah. And for your coaching staff as well, it looks like assistant coach Jim Nellis, he's coming back as well. You're adding another person to the team.
Yeah, we added Austin Klein. Austin had been in the Northern Ontario Junior League working and recently moved to the Valley. He's got a specialty in strength and conditioning. So I'll be able to put him to good use with our off-ice type stuff. And hopefully, again, as I said earlier, this is such a long grind. We're at this after this until late March. We've got to do a better job, I think, of getting our guys in shape off the ice and just making sure you've seen it. We've talked about it last year with the injuries, constantly injuries, and we've got to make sure our guys are healthier. And I think Austin will be a big help for us there.
Now for you doing the game on the bench, are you and Jim both working with different position groups, either forward or defenseman, or are you guys working with...
Nice play, Alex.
Oh, that was almost a nice goal.
Good save, eh?
Beautiful save by Nathan Severson there on that one-timer opportunity.
Yeah, we Jim and I, in the past, like last year, he worked the forwards. Chad Bailey worked the D, and I kind of oversee both of them. It'll probably work similar that way this year. There will be some minor changes, but for the most part, it'll look that way, yeah.
And the coaching staff for the Division II team is in good hands as well, as I can say from firsthand from being there and helping coach out on the practices, but with Barry Harkis, the head coach, you've had a long-time relationship with him.
Yep, I've worked with Barry from, it has been a long time. I hadn't thought about that, but yep, Barry is a great guy. He actually played club hockey at Arizona State in the early 80s, mid-80s, I think, when it was basically a beer league. So he's been great. He's very smart, very knowledgeable. And then Tyler, his son, he played for me at the same time that you played for me, Brett. And Tyler, you know Tyler well. He's just a great character guy. The kids all like him. They respect him. You know, he's a lot like his dad. You know, I make fun of Tyler. I tell him he's Canadian, but
yeah.
You know, they're happy-go-lucky people. They have fun. They work hard. You know, and they care about the game. They care about our kids, and that's most important to me.
They're pretty happy-go-lucky. I assume they're going to be happy this year with all the talent that's moving on the way down. Have you guys had any conversations about, what might be going on with the coaching staff going into next year, obviously, with some changes on the horizon?
No, we haven't. We haven't got into that yet. The only thing I've told Barry and Tyler is if I'm pushing all this talent down to you, you better win. No excuses. But no, we'll address the big thing for me right now is to make sure I've got the numbers from the prospect team, the number of kids that are going to commit to it, and then that tells me that I've got a basis to start that third team, and then from there I'll build on a staff out of it.
And for you yourself personally, growing up from a Minnesota native as well as plying your trade as a goaltender.
Why do you got to bring that up, Brett? Two things I don't talk about. One, being from Minnesota, and two, being a goaltender. Yeah, well, this is home for me. Minnesota was a great place to grow up. I'm grateful for it, but I love Arizona. I would not want to live anywhere else unless it was on a beach. But I'm able to live here in a great place and be involved with something I really love doing, and that's the game of hockey. The goalie thing, no, I don't. I gave up my union card a long time ago. I made it very publicly known I don't like goalies. I don't want anything to do with goalies. Stop pucks. That's all I care about. Yeah. Don't talk. Don't be weird. Don't give me a headache. Just stop pucks.
Puck will be shot on from the corner by Yager Larson, and that ends up being gloved away by the goaltender.
Yeah, speaking of Minnesota goaltenders, Nathan Severtson there was a surprise. He actually was convinced to come out by another recruit we had, and he's been a real pleasant surprise, but he's from Mountains View, Minnesota, not far from where I grew up.
Puck will still be loose, taken out by the white team. Adams and Myers going at each other as they go around the net. Jacob Lester headmans up puck with
nice
speed.
Job,
Adams coming
Dylan.
in.
Good rush, kid.
Is it being poked away? Cemented in action now. Michael Androy. Androy finds Billingsley. Billingsley lost a wheel. About 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second period. It's a 2-1 lead.
Nice.
Miller ends up gaining the zone. It's that puck taken away, and it'll end up being covered up by the goaltender, Zach Hale.
So, Coach, we know that the key component of any Tate Green coach team is obviously a high compete level. I think we're going to see a stark contrast this season from last in terms of the way the guys play. Just, you mentioned more skill, a little more speed. Do you see the game plan changing at all, or the way you're going to have the guys come out and attack games? Because last year, we know it was obviously a lot more gritty affair, especially down the stretch.
I think the difference right now, and obviously we'll find out more as we get on the ice as just a unit of 30, is offensively I'm going to be able to let them be more creative and just kind of turn them loose on things because they have individual skill. When you look at last year where it was obviously we didn't score many goals. Well, we didn't have a lot of individual skill. We had a lot of guys that worked hard and grinded it out, but at the end of the day, they didn't finish, or they didn't, they just didn't have that ability. Some do, some don't, right? It'd be easy if we all could score goals. And so now having guys in here that have more offensive talent or ability, you can kind of turn them loose a little bit and be more aggressive and say, get creative. And that's what I wanted. I mean, these kids have played hockey their whole life. They've worked on it their whole life. What a better opportunity than to showcase all your skills, man. Be creative. Show what you've learned or what you have, why you're here. There's no right or wrong way to do things in hockey, right? And so I want to see guys show their creative side. And I'm hoping that this group will allow us to do that anyways.
Yeah, but
easier said than done.
Certainly.
Yeah, and adding to that piece of really trying to balance in the mark of a good team of being able to play different types and different styles. I was really impressed by number 20 for the white team, Braden Shaw, out there in terms of adding that physical presence.
Yeah, big Braden Shaw. He comes to us from the British Columbia League, another high-end junior league that to see guys like that come from that league that are here strictly to play ACHA D1 hockey, that's good for our program. And, yeah, he's going to be a real nice addition. I like the way he plays a lot.
End up having Tim Hoffenkamp taking our first penalty of the game as he's in the box, and the Dark team's going to have to kill off a power play.
Yeah, I missed. I didn't catch the penalty. What was it for? Was it something
I'm
dumb?
not sure.
Was it something dumb, Brett?
Be
honest.
I think it was like a tripping
a
call
bad
or
penalty?
something. Yeah, so I'd say it's probably
Offensive
bad.
zone, not good.
Yeah.
Not good, Hoff.
That usually deserves a yell from you from the bench. We can hear on the broadcast usually.
All right, well. Oh, nice play.
And
there you go,
scoring.
little Elliot Plurd again. The kid is just, offensively, he's always around the puck. He's always in that mix. Snuck around up there and then just jumped in the gap. And when you got somebody that finds him, you see what happens.
They ended up really making something out of nothing, and that's really a good goal scorer, is just trying to take whatever chance you get.
Well, and the pass came from, if I'm not mistaken, it came from Houston. Houston's another one. You guys, you're going to love this kid. He's a transfer from Buffalo State, NCAA D3. Another one that's played in the North American League. And, man, he's got a motor. He doesn't stop. He's very aggressive. He's got really good offensive skill. Another one, you've heard me say it a couple times, but he will add offense immediately to our group.
Coach, the Union card's been gone for a while, but we got some good goalies in here. You're mentioning a few of them. Do you think Bronson Moore's going to steal as much of the ice time this coming season as he had last year? Is it going to be a little bit more of a split into that?
You know what? I just had this conversation with him yesterday. I don't want to use him as much as I did last year. Obviously, I'm not afraid to because I know he can handle it. But I think the way the game of hockey is changed, you can't rely on one goalie anymore. You have to have more than one. I would love nothing more than to have three guys that are pushing for ice time. Those two guys pushing Bronson to work harder. So I don't want to. And hopefully these guys here are going to step up and show me I don't have to, right?
So in closing, Coach, as we're winding down here in the second period, what's really the one main staple that teams that play Arizona State leave the game from understanding on what this team brings to the table?
We're going to work hard. We're never going to stop working. You saw that last year. Even when things were down and things were tough and we weren't winning games, we bring a team that's going to work every night. And regardless of what happens or whether things go our way or don't go our way, we will constantly keep working. We will never give up. And like I said, we'll fight all the way to the end.
Up to the point now, about 40 seconds left in the period.
Nice shot there. Clayton Lackey, another kid from the North American League. He was in the NA3 before that. He absolutely destroyed that league and then played the NA last year. Really smooth skater. Gets up and down the ice really nice.
About 15 seconds left now. The dark team still trying to put the pressure on. Osworth trying to rim it all the way up to the far blue, and he gets it to his
Brendan
teammate.
Studioso. We didn't talk about Brendan. That's John Studioso's cousin. Another one. He played in the NA3 last year. He's one of the North Iowa kids I was referring to. He had time in the North American League too. Another guy that where was his studio? Yeah, 143 points in 125 games in the NA3 league.
Wow.
So another, offense, man. You see where I'm headed, right? Where I'm trying to get. All right, guys, thank you very much for having me up here. I appreciate
Coach,
it.
Appreciate it.
Looking forward to a good season. Appreciate all you guys do for us. And I'm glad we got you upgraded on some equipment. We were just watching it on Ted's phone. It looks incredible. The picture is awesome. I like you got the little, we put sponsors and stuff up in there. Can I put a Hi Mom or something in there someday?
Yeah, we can throw that in for you. Yeah.
All right, okay. Guys, again, thank you very much for having me out. Anytime you guys need anything, I'm always here for you, all right?
Hey, looking forward to the upcoming season, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks,
Niall,
Coach.
thanks, buddy.
Folks, that was head coach and ASU hockey director Tate Green there with that second period call with us. Giving some great insight on the upcoming season that I think both of us, Niall, that are really excited for.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season for sure. What a pleasure for us to get head coach Tate Green up here, giving us what he thinks is going to be going down this season. We're hearing a lot about some of the players that are coming in this coming season and a little bit of the talent here. We heard some great skating. We heard some goaltending, good defensemen, some size, some speed. Pretty much everything, every little piece you want to put into a team that you're building, they have out on the ice right now. And for me, it's pretty obvious that this team is going to be head and shoulders above last year. And that's not a knock to any of the returning players. There were a lot of injuries. They had a tough schedule out of the gate. I mean, they were on the road, I think, 7 of the first 9 weekends of the season. And I think this year certainly holds a lot more promise and a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, again, folks, thank you for joining us for that second period, and we'll bring you third period action coming up next as the scores tied 2-2 in the 2019 Maroon and Gold game presented by the Arizona State Hockey YouTube channel.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Niall Cooper. My partner's Brett Vaughn. We are through 2 periods of action. A great period with head coach Tate Green, who made the appearance during the second, gave us some great insight on the program for this season and future seasons. And Brett, I felt like I got to open up an encyclopedia of ASU hockey and just read it out loud for that whole second period.
Yeah, it was, again, great stuff as a former player of the program as well, just to see where everything's going and where it's going to be headed. It's really exciting.
White team will win the opening draw here in the third. A quick outlet pass and getting it in deep, taking the check is Shaw. Shaw's another one of the countless players that we are all excited about for the program this year. As he's in front of the net, digging after it. He can't get the shot. The follow-up, that will go wide. Back at the point now. Clapping for it and taking the shot on net is Jet Larson, but that one won't get through. It's blocked. And the black team will come the other way. Across the blue line is Lester. He has a little trouble getting it in deep, and the white team can get it to the blue line, where Lester will send it deep and get a quick change. Shaw will dump that one in, and McLaughlin will go back for it. McLaughlin just sends one down the ice. Black team was in the middle of a change. And now Porter can flip it up ahead into the offense zone. A quick shot that gets deflected wide off of the stick of Michael Slavic. And in the back of the net now, the white team scores. Taking their first lead of the game is the white team for ASU. And after 2 periods of relative domination, Brett, the black team are on their heels.
Yeah, it was really just a funky play. Not how you usually draw up a goal. It looked like the goaltender scooted out of his net a little too aggressively, trying to stop that dump in.
And nothing like a little adversity in the Maroon and Gold game to see how some of the players will respond. Coming back from more, though, for the white team is number 10, Andrew Husted. Houston, as Coach Tate Green mentioned, he's got a motor that just won't stop. And he wants some more. Hoffenkamp behind his own net will try to set up the breakout. He can't get the pass to his defenseman. And it's Porter back in on the forecheck. Houston after it once again, and he will force a turnover, and it's kept in. Send back down to Houston. He has Porter below the goal line. He'll try to feed it to him. That one's deflected off of his stick by Klein, and it's out into the neutral zone now. Both teams will go for a quick change. 2 minutes into this final frame. And Brett, this is some of the best hockey we've seen, including all of last season here at Oceanside Ice Arena.
Yeah, really fast. Everybody looks fresh out there and really wanting to try and win this game.
Both teams equal in the shot column at 26 apiece. The goalies have had to make their fair share of saves today. We've seen Bronson Moore make some wonderful saves, as well as Nathan Severson for the white team. Looking for the quick uplet, Havner. He finds Studioso. Studioso trying to get in behind. Power move. He goes to the forehand, and a big save in net from the aforementioned Severson. And Severson will jump on that one as Havner, who's had a strong camp with a beautiful breakout pass, almost leads to a goal.
Yeah, that's a theme as well I've seen so far in today's game, is the ability to break out, whether you're a defenseman or if you're just a winger and a forward in your own zone, to really allow that transition game and breed those offensive chances that head coach Tate Green's looking for that was lacking last year.
One of the most skilled guys we've seen out here today in black, number 11, Clayton Lackey. He's had a great game, and he showed his offensive skill. Every time he's on the puck, you get on the edge of your seat, start biting your fingernails if you're the other team, because you know he's got something creative up his sleeve. Havner on it, Lackey going to the net. Havner pivots up to the point, a quick wrister. That one's deflected wide off the stick of Adams. Coming out of the corner now is Carcerano, and his shot will be gloved and stopped. As the black team, Brett, trying to answer right now, and maybe the best line we've seen on either team today here, the Havner-Lackey line.
Yeah, it definitely has, and really impressed by everybody. They had a week's worth of tryouts as well as a week's worth of conditioning camp to try to get in shape for their opportunity to try and make one of these hockey teams, and it's really shown.
Carcerano, a shot, and that one's blockered away. That's sent all the way down the ice, and it will go just far enough for the icing call. And Brett, the fitness was brought up by Tate Green, and last year there were quite a few injuries, and even when there weren't injuries, you could tell that the other D1 teams seemed to be faster, more skilled, and by the third period, it was almost like the ASU players were skating in mud. So far, that doesn't appear like it's going to be nearly as much of an issue, probably from all the work they've put in so far in the offseason.
Yeah, especially for how big sports science is nowadays. You're really trying to prevent injuries rather than have them occur, because it's going to be a lot less time having to recover if you have no injuries, and allows you to stay fresh throughout the season.
Some great math, my partner.
Bachelor's of Science right there.
Sending it into the feet of his forward was John Studioso. He'll have a second chance to get it out. It makes a good play in the neutral zone, banking it off the boards. Trying to make a power move to the net was number 2, Donovan Myers, but a great back check from Jacob Yoho to deny him the opportunity to get a shot off. White team with the quick draw. The shot on net through traffic, sitting in front of the blue paint. But the black team will sort it out and get it as far as center before they run into a little bit of trouble. Shaw wreaking havoc on the half wall, and he'll create a turnover and get it to his teammate. A little trouble corralling it was Jet Larson. And McLaughlin now will cut between the two of them and get it up to his teammate, and Geely can bring it forward. On his forehand, Geely button hooks back to McLaughlin. He'll fire one, and that gets through. A good save by Severson. Battling hard against the wall. Geely in there trying to keep it, getting a little bit of help from a teammate. That's Lester. And the black team does keep it in. Drew Platt. He'll absorb a check. Get it over to Lester. Lester with a little stick work. He's on it now, and will verse it into the corner. Some good cycling from the black team as they try to get it in front of the net, but there was nobody there, and the white team will send it all the way down. McLaughlin trying to get a quick breakout pass, but ends up turning it over. And trying to make a quick move in the corner while reinforcements come. Is Jet Larson. He'll get on it behind the net. Shoulder off the defenseman. It's in his skates. He pushes it up to his stick. And he'll reverse one. Back up to the point, and almost a 1-T for Studioso. But the pass from Porter just a little too slow. And the black team will breathe a sigh of relief as that one goes up into the stands.
Also been impressed, too, for the amount of play in the offensive zone that the forwards are willing to pass it up to defensemen. Not usually you see any forward really like to forfeit the possession of the puck, but a lot of these guys understand that if they can pass up to the point, that's going to expand the zone for the amount of area the defensive team has to cover, and thus will allow Grady scoring chances a lot more often.
And Brett, we know the game of hockey is only getting faster every year, so if you have an opportunity to create even a foot more of space in the offensive zone, that's going to go leaps and bounds in helping create more chances, isn't it?
Nope, it definitely is, and again, of trying to really create offense for this upcoming season, that's definitely one way to do it.
Severson will stop it. Kruk has the puck now. Quick pass up to Porter. And Porter will try to get it deep as reinforcements come in. Helping him out is Houston. He takes a hard check from Hoffenkamp, but the white team can keep it in. Porter on it now on the half wall. It's down low in front of the net. He had a man going into the blue paint. Couldn't get on the end of that. Good vision by Houston trying to generate an opportunity right in front of the net. That's where most of the goals happen. The black team coming the other way. Just onside, getting a hard ride and a good finish on the check from Kenny Miller. Miller now will have a chance to get out of his zone. 12:25 left in the third period. The white team up 3-2 in our annual maroon and gold scrimmage. Studioso a chance in front. That one will go just wide of the net. And that'll be dumped all the way down. Icing waved off at the last second. Both teams with tired troops on the ice. Houston, it's been a long shift for him, and he'll finally get off the ice. Dragging his foot to keep the play on side was Chambers, and that will force a cover-up by Zach Hale.
Folks, we again appreciate for everybody tuning in today on this beautiful Sunday, and I've hoped you guys noticed some of the improvements that we've been able to make to our broadcast this offseason. Not only the players have been getting in shape this season, so has our broadcast.
Studioso will hack that one as far as center. Lackey in on the forecheck. But the white team emerges with the puck. On his strong side, trying to feed one into the middle. That gets through. The follow-up chance, and he scores! Number 24, Zachary Kowalchuk, saw a loose puck at the point and took it all the way to the net. A great power move following up his own shot. And the white team with an insurance marker here near the midway point of the third.
There's a defenseman being active in the offensive zone. Zachary Kowalchuk following up his own rebound. Hey, if my forwards aren't going to do it and I have the opportunity to, sure, I'm going to go for it.
With all the praise we heaped on the black team the first period and a half, quite a bit of adversity they have to face, and this is an opportunity, Brett, if nothing else, for them to show the coaching staff what they can do under immense pressure. Some sweet stick handling moves, throwing it into a dangerous area, but nobody can get on the end of it. McLaughlin following it up. He'll lose the puck at center ice, and the white team will just dump it in and go for a quick change with 10:30 remaining in the third. Palumbo tries to feed McLaughlin. He'll eventually get it and bring it in. A quick shot, second opportunity, and that's an easy save kicked into the corner. Black team with a chance to apply a little bit of pressure, but they can't seal the wall. And we'll have to dump it back in. After it is Platt applying the pressure. A smart reverse. As Kenny Miller feeds the outlet pass through the neutral zone with some speed, and just going off sides was Jet Larson. Otherwise, they would have had an abbreviated 3-on-2.
Jet Larson, another guy that was in from last season, returning. Probably one of the bright spots, I think it was safe to say, last season.
Certainly was. Jet Larson back on it. He'll lose it at the blue line, and now the black team emerges with the puck. Landfear. Not enough mustard on that one. It'll be sent back in by the white team, and Landfear has to restart. This time he does get it to his man. That's Lester. He'll drop it back to Lanfear. Lanfear building up speed in the neutral zone and look for the shot. And that one redirected off of the stick of Kenny Miller. A good save off of that right-handed shot.
Even great bench energy being shown by both teams. You can hear the chattering going on out there. Everybody's really staying in this one.
And that seemed to be a bit of a problem last year, Brett. The communication at times really would fail them, and last year Sun Devils didn't have the skill to be able to overcome simple mistakes like that. And even with the amount of skill we see today, that's really not something any coach wants to see in a team, is a lack of communication, because that's the first sign that things are going to start to go awry. I'm sure you were always a great communicator in your day, Brett.
Definitely was the Odysseus of the team for sure.
That point shot will be stopped and held by Zach Hale as he's faced a little bit of rubber. And Brett, if you were on the bench right now for the black team with a megaphone, what would you be trying to broadcast to the rest of the guys to get them going and try to turn it around here?
Well, I think they just got to remind themselves of how well they played in that first period and just go back, reassure yourself that, hey, we've done it before, and why can't we do it now?
The breakout passes have seemed to have been a little bit more of an issue for the black team in this third period, as that's probably dual parts exhaustion as well as just a more of an effort on the forecheck from the white team.
Yeah, again, nothing too much or crazy in terms of tryouts or systems you're trying to run at all. It's really just making sure you're putting the effort out there and winning races to loose pucks.
Going to the net, there's three guys in white sweaters in all alone. And a wonderful job by Zach Hale not to allow a rebound, because if he did, there were some salivating sticks waiting right in front of him.
Yeah, three guys are right there, and for the black team, they need to show a little bit of fight, a little bit of effort out there to not let all those guys sit around for that rebound.
Lackey crossed the line, couldn't find Studioso. Studioso will come back now, glove it down, as he tries to make the long pass to Habner, gets knocked down, but it's on Lackey's stick. He'll feed Studioso. Studioso across. The one-timer. Oh, what a save in front of the net. Going from post to post was number one, Severson, as he denies a golden opportunity for the black team to narrow the lead to one. It's kept in now, one in front of the net. A quick heads-up play by the goalie to play it out of the net. Habner will knock it down, and the white team will regroup. And Brett, you've got to be wondering what's going to take to score. That was a beautiful tic-tac-toe play in front of the net, but an even better save to answer. Studioso now on his weak side, gets it caught in his skates, as he's at the end of his shift. And Kenny Miller can skate out of his own zone. A little bit of a hiccup across the blue line, sees the puck on Lackey's stick. Lackey tries to go for the home run pass. But now it's the white team that can just delay things ever more long. Very cagey affair. As you know, the white team really wants to come out of this with the victory, as they continue to muck it up. Palumbo shakes a check, loses the puck. Picking it up now, finally bringing it in is Yager Larson. Larson looks for a quick shot from the point. That one not threatening at all, and will be gloved down. Yager Larson, he has a goal tonight, Brett, but not really a lot else going for the black team in pretty much any respect right now.
Yeah, I think even for both teams, there's been a little bit of a lull at this back half of the third period. Maybe a little bit of fatigue against setting in because it's so early into the season. A little less talking out there as well.
And certainly it's twofold. It's early in the season for a lot of these guys, and it's also been a long week of tryouts and camp trying to whittle down the roster. A lot of these players have put their heart and soul into the last week or two of skating just to get to this point, so you know that their legs are going to be very tired as we get into the latter stages of this third period. Jet Larson, he was trying to work it back to the point as he saw he had Connor Kruk, but he couldn't quite make the pass. Larson back on it, almost pickpockets the defenseman. And Shaw, he didn't know that he had all the time and space in the world, as he could have fed Jet Larson in all alone, but a little bit of communication stopping that chance. Into the offensive zone. Houston almost got that one as he was streaking up the middle. Quick stick by T, denies the chance for Hoffenkamp. And it'll be sent back in by the white team. Along the half wall, having trouble breaking it out is Demon, and he'll send it all the way down the ice, and that will be an icing. And Brett, when you're chasing the game with under 5 minutes to go, not a great play in the neutral zone by Demon, a little bit lazy on that breakout.
Yeah, guys not really getting to their spots as well because they're getting so much pressure from the white team, to their credit, that they're forcing where the black team and dictating where they have to break the puck out of, and if it's a little too quick and not at the right pace that the black team wants to break out at, that's where you're going to have those errant passes that sometimes end up going for icing like this one.
Hoffenkamp gets the draw back. They'll get it as far as center before it's sent back in by Wiggins. And picked up behind the net by Adams. Adams trying to rim one out, but it'll be kept in by the white team. White team merges with the puck, trying to make a power move to the front of the net was Chambers. Chambers on it again. He'll try to ballet his way into the middle of the ice. Couldn't do it. Hoffenkamp on his third effort will get it out of the zone, and he'll just dump one into the corner. Demon, the first one on it, trying to make a move. But Wiggins has seen that a little too often in practice, and he knew exactly where to put his stick, and the white team could get the puck out of the zone. Wiggins lays a pick in the neutral zone, no call. Coming in now is Sullivan. Sullivan in the corner, gets a hard ride by McLaughlin. He'll get the puck loose. At the point, brought in by Kowalczyk. He'll fire a quick wrister, and that one's gloved down by Hale.
For both rosters for the upcoming season, the ACHA only allows 30 players for each ACHA sanctioned team. So for the Division I team, only 30 of these guys on the ice today are going to be able to make it.
And we've seen a lot of good players out here today, Brett. A lot of good plays all over the ice. Certainly not going to be an easy job to whittle this team down to 30 skaters. But at the end of the day, that's a good problem to have if you're the coaches for Arizona State. Soft chip, gets it out of his own zone. Billingsley brings it ahead. It's in all alone now. A one-on-one and another big save in front by Hale. As it was 25 Slavic in all alone, couldn't make a play. And the Adam Havner will draw a tripping penalty behind the play, as this is the end that the black team needed with 2:40 remaining on the clock. The goalie's out, extra attacker on. On the half wall, bringing it in uncontested, and that shot stopped. And sent all the way back down the ice as the clock continues to tick here on the black team.
Yeah, really long delayed penalty.
Studioso to Lackey. Lackey, he'll wrist one high and wide. And that's a free breakout for the white team and still no call. As we're approaching 30 seconds of extra attacker time. Only one shot to show for it. As they will now go offsides, we'll finally get that whistle.
So we're going to have a possible chance for the black team to come back down 2 goals with this power play opportunity as they're taking a timeout.
And Brett, we might see the goalie pulled here. It would probably be a good idea down 2 if they have any chance to want to get this game tied up before it's all said and done. The black team is going to need to get a goal probably within the first 60 seconds here to really threaten. And if they can get an extra attacker on the ice, create a 6-on-4 opportunity. You mentioned earlier in the game how hard it is to find that extra space in the offensive zone. We mentioned how tired the legs are going to be. You couple that together, and it just makes a lot of sense for them to get an extra man right now just to open up a few more chances.
Yeah, I think that's going to be what they're going to go for, as they're going to have that face-off deep into the offensive zone, so they don't really have to worry about a chance of the other team possibly scoring right away if they end up losing the draw.
And we will see exactly that. The goaltender's been pulled for the black team as Hale will sit on the bench and watch. Hoffenkamp in the circle. As he goes up against Plurd. Plurd wins it, and it'll be cleared all the way down. Black team will break it out. Studioso would speed up the right wing. Cuts into the middle. Loses to a stick check. Luckily, he has some support. Black team in on the offensive at the point. They switch it. Havner and the Sadia Studioso. Studioso tries to make a fancy pass to Lackey. Passing up a great scoring opportunity in the slot. Minute 30 on the clock. Lackey on his weak side. Back up to the point. That wrister, and it finds a way in. It's a goal. A quick wrister by Gavin Klein finds a hole between the pads. And just like that, the black team back within 1 with a minute 22 remaining in the third period. Brett, they drew that one up perfectly.
Yeah, it's a really good puck movement there to start. A good 15, 20 seconds for them, almost developing a chance right there in the high slot, but that extra pass was just a little too much. And then on the way back again, the puck came up to the point, and Gavin Klein was able to find some space in a shooting lane, which allowed the goaltender to not see and get the puck in, and now their black team is only down a goal.
Things very interesting late in the game. Hale at the hash marks. He'll make his way to the bench, and the black team will pull the goalie once again. Four to 3 is the score. Just over a minute remaining in the game. Drew Platt will get it up to Lackey. Lackey on the right wing, surveying his options to Havner. Havner will drop it. And that goes into a bad situation, and this should be the goal that puts things away for the white team, and it will be. Some good defensive work by number 10, Houston. And Brett, the black team getting a little too pretty across the blue line, making one too many drop passes, and ends up in the back of their net. And a great effort, great finish to this game by the white team.
Yeah, and probably well-deserved as well with Houston, Porter, and Plurd out there, that all new guys coming into the program end up finishing this game off.
Hale with a save off a quick shot from Donovan Myers. As this is kept in by Teed. Back into the corner, Palumbo. He'll start and stop. He'll put his man down, and we'll look for the home run pass, but a good job breaking that up as Teed had his stick in the way. As the clock winds down, the final seconds of the maroon and gold game will pass, and the white team is victorious by a final score of 5-3. And Brett, not much more action you could ask for in the maroon and gold scrimmage. This had a little bit of everything from the start. Some early domination by the black team, some new faces establishing themselves and showing what they can do here at Oceanside Ice Arena. The game ends up evening out. You see some familiar faces pop up. You see some big saves. Really nothing more you could have asked for.
No, I think a lot of great effort and great pace was shown by both teams throughout the 60 minutes today. And it was something that, as a fan at home, as a parent, as somebody like one of us who's watching and really invest with working with the team, it's really exciting to possibly see this upcoming 2019-2020 season.
It's going to be extremely exciting, and we're looking forward to everyone tuning in. We have to thank some of you. We have people from far and wide watching, from Canada to Mason City, Iowa. We appreciate every one of you for tuning in to the annual Maroon and Gold scrimmage. We hope you enjoyed the action, and we also hope that you will rejoin us in approximately a month when the season gets underway. ASU will open the season with a home series against UNLV on Friday, September 20th, Saturday, September 21st. The game times are 8 and 7. We want you to be there because we'll be here bringing you that action live.
Yeah, definitely really excited. UNLV is always a great game, great natural rivalry with them being so close to us here in Arizona, and it's going to be something that's a lot of fun, and we hope you guys join, and make sure to also subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any future games.
That's right. We'll be carrying D1 action, D2 action this season. Hopefully a championship at the end of the year as well, but that's a ways down the road as we still have to get prepped for the season opener. And Brett, I am looking forward to it very much. We will be back here in about 4 weeks to bring you that first game of the season. As we remind you of our final score once again, the white team 5, the dark team 3. As we sign off, we will rejoin you in about 4 weeks here from Oceanside Ice Arena. For my partner, Brett Vaughn, I am Niall Cooper, saying good afternoon and good evening from ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube.